where the winds will stay aggressive and which areas could get more than 2 inches of rain this week. Your forecast across the Caribbean and the Bahamas starts right now.
This is Meteo Mundo.
Hi friends, Rusty back here at Meteo Mundo. Great to see you on a Friday. Hope you're doing well. The weekend has come. And coming up in this video, we'll talk about some brisk winds still ripping across portions of our area, still elevating sea conditions. It's bringing some fast-moving showers. We'll look at that. But then other areas, the rain is going to try and pile up. And there's some spots that could get more than 2 inches or 50 millimeters of rain in just the next few days. And I'll have all that information for you as well. As always, Meteo Mundo is sponsored by the Lean Law Firm of Central Florida, your hometown homeowners insurance attorneys. They offer free consultation and policy reviews. Anything that could impact you or your property, they're there to walk you through the insurance claims process. The information is on the screen. Go to leanonmelaw.com for all of their information. Let's get into the weather story. As always, I'd love to hear from you guys. Let me know in the comment section below where you're viewing from and what the weather has been like. What do you say we start off in the Bahamas for today? Looking nice, looking warmer for our friends in Walker's Key and Grand Bahama, Freeport, Lucaya, the Abacos, Bimini, Nassau, New Providence, Andros, Eleuthera. Temperatures trying to eke up into the upper 70s to right around 80 degrees. Winds, well, they've been a little bit fresh off the east coast of the United States. There you see them right there, but the winds in the Bahamas have actually been relatively quiet. So, that of course is good news. Now, as far as weather goes, there's an approaching front on the way, and it's going to try and bring a few spotty showers to the Bahamas beginning tomorrow, and we'll look at that coming up. Do want to mention Bermuda temperatures right now are only in the 60s out there. A little bit of a quick shot for rain, but some drier air will be working its way behind that. Down to our friends in the Turks and Caicos, where temperatures are in the upper 70s to right around 80 degrees. Now, it's interesting because you see there's a couple of lightning strikes right here near the Windward Passage. We actually have this trough that extends right back into the southern side of the Turks and Caicos, kind of brushing the greater Antilles in general. It's been a little bit of a focusing mechanism for a few showers and storms there. This has also pushed some rain into the Leeward Islands, portions of the Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, and the Dominican Republic with our brisk easterly winds. So that's kind of a focusing mechanism for some rain, and those east winds are howling. You notice that we have a developing gale just off the coastline of South America and in the exposed waters of the Atlantic just east of the Turks and Caicos and the Bahamas. We are going to get gale conditions to develop once again as well. If I show you the visible satellite imagery here for the Cayman Islands and Jamaica, I don't have to pause this because it does lose out, but you can see that we have had some fast-moving showers move across Jamaica for today. Now look, this cloud coverage isn't holding a ton of rain, but we've had a couple of showers roll across the island. If you've had some rain in Jamaica, let me know. Temperatures haven't been that bad because of the cloud coverage for today. Kingston hitting around 84 for the high, Montego Bay 82. There is a strong wind and large wave advisory for the nearshore and offshore waters of Jamaica. So boaters, mariners, please keep that in mind. A couple of spotty showers will also try and work their way towards the Cayman Islands, but you can see it's been a little bit cooler today in Jamaica with some of the extra cloud coverage. My friends there, let me know in the comment section below how you're doing. These easterlies are again driving in some moisture back into the Dominican Republic with this windward kind of side of Hispaniola getting the best rain chances from Santiago de los Caballeros towards Puerto Plata, Samana, La Romana, Punta Cana, Santo Domingo, all with some decent shower chances. Now you get to the western side of the island towards Lucay and Port-au-Prince, and look, it's dry, it's outright hot. 94 degrees today in Lucay for a daytime high. This trough line is very clear to see in the visible satellite imagery just north of Puerto Rico in the Virgin Islands. It has brought some fair amount of showers to these areas. Some of that has actually been during the evening and the overnight hours, and we're starting to get a little bit more rain trying to pop back in at the hour as well. Temperatures aren't horrible. They're in the mid 80s for the most part here. When we take a look at the winds here, let's see if we have any gusts to mention, because I know that there's some gusty winds out there right now. My friends in St. Thomas, St. Croix, how about 30-mile-an-hour winds in St. Croix, 26 in St. Thomas, and these fresh breezes are going to continue across the area, including San Juan, on over towards Aguadilla. Ponce has a wind of around 25 miles an hour as well. And again, the opportunity here to continue to see some fast moving showers as we go through the remainder of the day as well. Certainly not out of the question for you here. We'll go over to the Leeward Islands, and again, you can see some winds there. St. Bart, St. Martin, and Anguilla areas right around 30 miles an hour. Small craft advisories are in effect, 1.5 to 2.5 meter waves, or about 5 to 8 feet in most spots. Again, a fast moving spotty shower is possible in these areas. Same thing for our friends from Barbuda and Antigua South to Montserrat, Guadeloupe and Dominica. The forecast appreciably hasn't changed in the last couple of days. Strong easterly trade winds continue to provide just enough moisture to throw in some fast moving showers. Still many dry hours and locations. The biggest story is going to be the wind and how that will continue to elevate sea conditions. Most of the Lesser Antilles dealing with some large waves and some long period swells here. It's just not the best boating forecast, especially for small craft. So you're going to want to stay in shelter locations and exercise caution. Situations about the same. Barbados, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, and the Grenadines down towards Trinidad and Tobago as well, including Grenada, where a brisk shower is possible across the area. A little bit better chance across the South American mainland. Nueva Esparta could catch a couple of showers as well. And look at these winds here. We talked about the near gale conditions developing in the ABC Islands. Curacao had a 29 mile an hour wind today. Aruba has cranked it up to 36 miles an hour. Fast moving moisture moving across the rest of the Caribbean and into the western sides of the region. Now, one spot where the winds are going to be brisk and the rain is going to develop is back along the Caribbean coastline of Panama, Costa Rica, into the southern sides of Nicaragua. I'm going to highlight this more in a minute, but these are the areas where the showers aren't going to be as fast moving, and the rainfall chances for higher amounts will be a bit higher as we go through the remainder of the weekend and into early next week. Going to throw in the water vapor imagery here. You can just see that we have relatively drier air in place, but this doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to be devoid of actually getting any showers to the northern sides of Honduras and Guatemala and Belize. They're going to be more concentrated, more isolated in nature, but you can see some of those moving off of the northern coastline of Honduras and some of that drifting over places like Roatan and Utila and the Guanaja areas where, again, a spotty quick shower is possible in these spots. And then you get into the northern sides of the Yucatan, Cancun and Cozumel. The air is drier, the winds are still brisk, but rain chances overall just aren't going to be as significant as off to the south. So as we get into the forecast, friends, I do appreciate you guys taking a quick second and liking this video. Thank you so much for continuing to tune in to hear Meteo Mundo. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I offer that quick subscribe button for you right now. If you want these updated forecasts, I appreciate you sharing the channel with your family and friends and finding ways to support the channel as well. So now we're going to get into the actual forecast of things for us here. That's the wrong button. Let's see. We're just going to go back out to the wide shot. And again, this time of the year, as we move into early February, the winds are going to play a big factor. Obviously, it's going to push some fast-moving showers into the area, but the opportunity here to also see, again, some spots where the rain could pick up and be relatively significant. So let's switch over here to the GFS model first, and we're going to take a look at how this is going to play out rainfall-wise in your area. Now, again, we're not going to see anything too concentrated, okay? So nothing is going to be an all-day rain in any location. Even in the Caribbean and the southwest side, it's not like this rain is just going to sit over top of an area for a day or two. And obviously the moisture content is not that of summertime, but you can clearly see here that there's a lot of green on the map, relatively speaking. And this is what I'm talking about. You get just enough lift in the atmosphere to produce these widely scattered showers, and they are going to be hauling. It means that the rainfall totals aren't going to add up to a lot, but we'll start off in Trinidad and Tobago, where again, we could get an isolated spotty shower. Nothing outrageously high, 20 to a 30% chance for the rest of the weekend and into early on Monday as well. It's about the same situation for Grenada, St. Vincent and the Grenadines and Barbados. About a 30% chance in most spots, maybe up to 40 in a couple of areas. But again, if you have outdoor plans, I'm not concerned about the rain. If you are boating though, you're doing some sailing, doing some fishing, I'd be a little bit more concerned about how the winds could impact the seas and the swells near some of these islands, especially on the windward side. For Martinique, Dominica, Guadeloupe, rain chances are going to be actually a little bit higher compared to the windward islands. Maybe about a 40 to a 50% chance. Again, it's not going to add up to much, and these are fast-moving showers, and there's going to be a lot of dry hours each day, but the rain chance overall is slightly higher. Then you get to Montserrat, Antigua, Barbuda, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Martin, Saint Eustatius, places like that, Anguilla, rain chances will be relatively elevated. There's some 50 to 60% chances Saturday, Sunday, Monday in a few of these areas. And the winds are going to be stronger as well. We're going to have some wind gusts in these spots that could hit 25, 30, 35 miles an hour, which is why the small craft advisories are in effect. Again, easily 1.5 to 2.5 meter waves. It'll be about the same situation for the U.S. and British Virgin Islands as well. Again, fast-moving showers for Anegada, Yost Van Dyke, on over towards St. Thomas, St. John and St. Croix, Vieques, Culebra, certainly the eastern sides of Puerto Rico. Again, the windward-facing side with this northeast wind. So San Juan on over towards Fajardo will have better rain chances compared to places like Ponce and Mayaguez on the western and the southern sides of the island. It doesn't mean some of the showers won't skirt over this area, but you're going to get a more concentration of rain on the northern and the eastern side. That's the same situation for Hispaniola as well. Again, just happens to be the Dominican Republic's on that side, so they're just catching the better rain. You have the higher elevation in the central part of the island as the rain comes down and the moisture comes down off of that downslope. The air dries out, so just not as much rain for Haiti, including Port-au-Prince and Lacaille. Scattered showers are possible in the Bahamas over the next couple of days. I mentioned that. It's not going to be concentrated, though. Maybe a 10 to 20% chance. It's just not completely dry. The big story, though, for our boaters, again, sheltered locations are okay. East side of the islands in the exposed waters of the Atlantic, you got near gale conditions. I'm going to show you the winds coming up, but just keep that in mind. Pretty rough out there. Now, we'll continue to see the opportunity for a couple of spotty showers roll across Jamaica, my friends there. Kingston, Port Moore, Spanish Town, and Mandeville and Maypen, Savla-Bar, Lucy, Montego Bay. Again, eastern sides of the islands towards Hope Bay, Morant Point, Ocho Rios, slightly better chance northern eastern sides. Kingston will catch that as well. I would still expect the large waves and the strong wind advisory to potentially continue, at least in some areas towards Pedro Bank and places like that over the weekend. It's not a slam dunk guarantee, but check in with the local meteorological service there for the latest on that advisory. My take is that the winds don't diminish much, so sea conditions should continue to remain elevated. Spotty showers over Cayman, Bracken, Grand Cayman, and Little Cayman. Again, not too much. You get towards Quintana Roo, and it's a little bit drier air for Cancun and Cozumel. Slightly better chance towards the Chetumal area, and then certainly for coastal Belize and Guatemala and northern Honduras. So you can clearly see that. Watch the moisture come in with the easterlies, kind of waves of rain. It's still going to be relatively isolated, or at least it's not going to be, for a long point in time at any one juncture during the day, right? You catch some showers moving through for a few hours, and then it dries back out. So outdoor plans should be okay. Obviously, boaters want to keep an eye out for some of the showers moving in. We've had a little bit of lightning with this, but it's mainly just been some rain, where we actually have had some decent true thunderstorm activity has been developing off the coastline of Panama and Costa Rica the last few days. And these are the spots that could get more than 2 inches or 50 millimeters in a fairly short amount of time. As a matter of fact, some spots could even try and push 3 and 4 inches of rain, or even up to 100 millimeters. And considering that we're talking about the first few days of February, that's some decent rainfall totals. These are your look at your winds. Again, let's see, that's probably not even the right legend, to be quite honest. The winds are based off of, the wind colors are based off of their speeds. Purple winds get you up to 20 miles an hour. Pink winds get you up to 25. You see some whites, that's 30 and above. We don't want to talk more about that, as far as any stronger winds than that. But you clearly see that these easterlies stay with us and they're brisk. A lot of pink on the map. That's pretty steady 25-mile-an-hour winds with some higher gusts. And that's all of the Lesser Antilles and the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico. And again, you can clearly see on the windward sides here, that's where the moisture is going to begin to pile up. My friends in the ABC Islands, I don't have a lot of rain for you the next couple of days outside of a very brief shower, but your winds will be 30 to 35 miles an hour from time to time. And again, even up towards Jamaica, you can see the winds kind of sneaking through the passage here, which could, again, elevate seas across coastal areas. So keep that in mind. As a matter of fact, almost a little freshening of the wind late on Sunday and into Monday across Cuba and the Bahamas that will be impacting the Northwest Caribbean, including the Cayman Islands. Staying with the easterlies across the rest of the area as well, we'll continue to again throw the moisture across the Caribbean coastline of the northern sides of Central America. And you'll start to see actually lighter winds coming back over Bermuda. Bermuda's forecast isn't horrible after we push the next front through, but ahead of it as we get into late Friday and early on Saturday, really strong winds coming in. These are the winds that could be approaching 40 miles an hour. And then the winds will eventually turn here in the Bahamas as well as we see the flip. Now, there's not a lot of moisture with that next front, but we will get for a brief time a bit of a northerly wind, especially in the northwest Bahamas. So let's break down your rain chance island by island. Here we go. Northwest Bahamas, central and southeast Bahamas, Turks and Caicos. Not a much, 10% chance at best, right on through Monday. Cuba has about a 20% chance for a couple of showers, going to favor the eastern side of the island there. For the Cayman Islands, again, it's about a broad brush, 20% chance for rain. I want to keep Belize City at 30. Again, you know, we could slice this and say from time to time there could be a 40% chance, but generally speaking, each day, each 24-hour period, I think we've got a 30% chance overall. Cancun and Cozumel, 20% chance the next couple of days and even drier on your Monday. Jamaica's rain chances should be slightly higher again tomorrow, just like they were today, then fairly isolated Sunday and Monday. Again, it's not going to add up to much, but hopefully some cloud coverage will keep things very comfortable outside. My friends in the Dominican Republic will build the rain chance the next couple of days up to a 50% chance by Monday, and that's the same situation for Puerto Rico. More isolated showers tomorrow, more widespread Sunday and Monday. That will include the U.S. and British Virgin Islands as rain chances go up. Once we get past the rain in Bermuda on Sunday, we're back down to a 30% chance on Monday. But look at the rain chances here in the Leeward Islands, Anguilla, St. Kitts and Nevis. 40% chance tomorrow, up to a 60 in Anguilla on your Sunday, and then a 40% chance on your Monday across the area. I'm going to grab my trusty clicker. Antigua and Barbuda, 40% chance for showers through Monday. So you've got scattered showers, fast easterly winds, elevated sea conditions with a small craft advisory in all of these spots. 50% chance for Guadeloupe on Monday, 40% chance across the board for Dominica, 50% chance tomorrow in Martinique. More isolated to scatter for St. Lucia, St. Vincent, and the Grenadines, but everyone has a chance for some rain each and every day. It's just not a completely dry forecast. Here you go. 30% chance across the board for Barbados over the weekend, 20 on Monday, 30% chance for Grenada. Very isolated in Trinidad and Tobago, but again, these are spots that some of that rain could pin up against the South American coastline, especially towards Trinidad, and there could be pockets of heavier rain. It's not going to be very widespread, but that's a possibility. Suriname and Guyana stay with a 30 to a 40% chance, and then it's very isolated rain, and again, fast-moving showers for Nueva Esparta in the ABC Islands. These are the wave heights and directions. It's going to be rough in the Caribbean and the Atlantic and the Gulf. It's nothing like the Pacific. They are going to be dealing with some wave heights of 16, 18, even 20 feet on the Pacific side of Mexico and Central America. But you can clearly see there's a fair amount of green on this map, which when you represent that is 8, 9, and even 10-foot waves. A lot of the Western Atlantic and again, portions of the Caribbean. The generally wind direction, of course, is what we typically see this time of the year, and that's the easterly trade winds. But they are going to be brisk and they are going to be fresh, and they're going to be pushing pretty far to the west over the next several days. The interesting graphic to show you guys, I pulled this one. This is the chance for more than 2 inches of rain over the next week. The higher chance you see are going to be in the oranges and the reds. I'll take myself off the map so you can clearly see. And you're looking at basically near 100% chance of at least 2 inches of rain for the areas that I have already mentioned, and that's going to be coastal Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, portions of Honduras, Guatemala, Belize, the southern sides of Quintana Roo. So in these spots, these are the areas that have the best chance for heavier rain. There's a little area here in the northeast side of Jamaica with the windward side, the northeast winds. Same situation for the Dominican Republic and Cuba, a couple of spots that could get over 2 inches. That was on the European model. This is the animated loop of the European model for everyone over the week ahead, and you can clearly see those highlighted higher areas. If you look at the map, you get towards the reds, you're easily 2 to 4 inches or 50 to 100 millimeters. Still favoring the windward side of the islands across the Lesser Antilles, and the same situation across Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic. Again, not a lot of rain for the Bahamas, even though we could have a couple of scattered showers. And relatively speaking, the farther northwest that you go, the drier that it is going to be. That's what it looks like from the European model. This is what it looks like on the GFS model. They're all very much in lockstep. Nothing else outrageously different. I mentioned 2 to 4 inches of rain here. So if we look at the GFS, you can see we're right in line. 3.5 inches of rain right across the coastline. It should stay that way until you get towards the Honduras-Nicaragua border. There should be a break in the action. But again, you get back here towards the Bay Islands and maybe an inch of rain, and then near or offshore of Belize, even towards San Pedro, 1.5 to 2 inches. So pushing 50 millimeters in a couple of spots. There's the same situation the European model had. We're on the far northeast side of Jamaica. You could catch maybe an inch of rain there, but most other spots will see more fast-passing showers, and I would expect a quarter to a half inch in most locations. Again, just not a ton of moisture associated with what's going to be moving through. There's your bullseye here, again, along the northeast coastline of Hispaniola, the Dominican Republic, from Puerto Plata to Samana Peninsula, or again, a couple of spots will be more than 2 inches of rain. And it's the same situation again for Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands, where a couple of spots could get more than an inch, most of us less than that. And you can see from time to time here on the model, you do have a couple of areas here in the Lesser Antilles with more than an inch. It just depends. It is very area dependent, but relatively speaking, this is some decent rain totals. This is what I'm talking about. Right off the coast of South America, we're going to have some heavier rain totals. The question is, does it sneak up to Trinidad? It's one of those things where Tobago could actually be a lot drier than portions of Trinidad, relatively speaking, the close proximity to those islands. As I mentioned, the Bahamas are relatively dry. Bermuda, a quick shot of showers, but generally speaking, not a lot of rain over the next few days. Friends, I appreciate you guys, including sending in pictures and videos to help tell the story. It's myMediaMundo@gmail.com, so I can pass along those pictures and videos. Just include your name, of course, where it is from. You want to give me a description, I appreciate that as well. Also appreciate you guys following us across all of our social media platforms. We're on Instagram, TikTok, X, Facebook, and of course the email address that I just mentioned. You know, I love to hear from you guys. Let me know in the comments section below what's been happening. If you have a specific question, feel free to drop it in the comments section below, and I'm very happy to answer that as well. As always, Meteo Mundo is sponsored by the Lane Law Firm of Central Florida, your hometown homeowners insurance attorneys. They do represent homeowners, condo owners, and associations across the state. They offer free consultation and policy reviews, so anything that could impact yourself or your property, they're there to help you. leanonmelaw.com is where you can find more information. Friends, I appreciate you guys. You have a great rest of your Friday. I'm back soon with the latest forecast across our area. Until then, y'all take care. I'll see you right here at Meteo Mundo.